So at Precision Physio, we use our performance pyramid. The idea of the performance pyramid is to be able to help our patients to understand what they need to do to fully recover. It's also for us as therapists to understand of where we are and what we need to be focusing on for our patients. So we start with the foundation of move more, and that's looking at where the physios will look at where there might be some mobility limitations. With the foundation of our joint movement and then our muscle flexibility. If someone has a smaller pyramid with the foundation is quite narrow, then as they try to do more things up the top of the pyramid, that pyramid can topple over. If that pyramid is narrow, it's also really hard to be developing up higher as well. So we look to actually creating a stable base to begin with. Just because we have mobility as the foundation doesn't mean all our techniques are focused on mobility. We might be using other parts of the pyramid in order to achieve mobility and to maintain mobility. With our pyramid, this part here, the movement patterns, is the gold. If someone has faulty biomechanics, has had an injury and they've lost some movement, or they've been sedentary and lost some mobility, and because of those losses, they will have changed their movement pattern. As they change their movement pattern, then they will lose their mobility. So what we look at doing is to restore the mobility, to improve the biomechanics, and to change those movement patterns. And this is where we have physios and exercise physiologists really working together. So we've had exercise physiologists working with us since prior to exercise physiologists were part of the normal mainstream. The reason we've had that is that us as physios, we can get some really quick changes happening to our patients really quickly. And as we do that, it feels good to be able to suddenly improve someone's movement and get rid of their pain. We also, if we think about the 4 stages of learning, so the 4 stages of learning are the unconscious incompetence. And if we think about that particularly with movement patterns, when people come to see us, they often don't realise they can't move properly. So that's that unconscious incompetence. And then we as physios like to move them to that next level, which is that conscious incompetence, where we tell the patient, see, you can't move, and we show them where they can't move. The next part is the conscious competence. And as physios, we are good at actually recognising where movement patterns are and trying to actually get those to be people can do that. That's that conscious competence. The harder part, and this is where physios we struggle, is that it's moving from that conscious competence to the unconscious competence. And how we move someone from the conscious competence to the unconscious competence is with repetition. And it's also with repetition and load. So we get a movement pattern, we add some stability to it, we get a movement pattern and we add some load, whether it's with strength, endurance, power, agility or spring. But providing that increased load to this movement pattern, that's how we really fix people. So how do we get exercise physiologists and physios working together? Well, we need to speak the same language. Exercise physiologists don't come out of uni being able to assess like physios. When they don't come out of uni being able to assess like physios, they don't speak the same language. And if we've got 2 different therapists who don't speak the same language, there is no chance they can work together. So part of our training and part of our culture development is to have our exercise physiologists and our physios really speaking the same language, they work together. It's also to recognise we don't want to be here and here or here and here, we need to be working as a team together. When we're working as a team together, that's how we're going to get results for our patients. That's how we will fix our patients, because we will take them from down into here, this red zone, or where there's issues into here, we'll take away their pain and we'll move them up the pyramid. And it's only by moving them up the pyramid, by actually adding the repetition to those ideal movement patterns, add that repetition, and then we get at the top here. That's where we can actually really live young, and that's where our patients will be fixed. Hope you're interested in what we're doing. Come and see some more about us.